The Premier of British Columbia said yesterday it is vital that any trade agreement with the United States should include a deal on softwood lumber. Premier David Eby says the softwood industry has been fighting unfair duties for decades and the issue remains unsolved. With me now is Brian Menzies, Executive Director of the Independent Wood Producers Association. Brian, thanks so much for your time. What does a trade deal look like from your perspective that includes softwood lumber?
Well, first of all, I both thank Premier Eby and Prime Minister Carney for trying to include softwood lumber in bilateral negotiations. This would be the first time in a long time. It is difficult. This is a problem that we've been facing with tariffs for the last 8 years. And the companies that I represent are the ones behind me that make, kind of this type of wood products, more of a whether they're planters or the beautiful wood you see around your homes, like on the decking and siding and that sort of thing. The interesting thing is during the last agreement, we were excluded from it. We were not involved in it at all. In fact, we purchased our wood on the open market, much like the U.S. Lumber Coalition says that they do as well, and at market price, and we process it. When we purchased it, there was a tariff included in it, a negotiated tariff, and we make our products and sell it. When that agreement fell apart, the tariff was put on top of our products. So when we add value to these wood products, when we hire more people to work in Canada to work on these wood products, we get charged the full duty on top of it. So obviously with our announcement, or the U.S. government's announcement yesterday or a couple of days ago about the 20% anti-dumping and a rate that's yet to come out for the other side of it, we're going to be looking at a 35% rate pretty soon here. Mm-hmm. We weren't even included in this dispute to begin with. And these boxes here made from cedar, you can only get in the Pacific Northwest. You can't really get it out of the United States unless you start depleting their forests. And this is a real lose-lose game that's going on right now. And the best negotiated deal, and that's the only way I believe we're going to resolve this, is where we all win. We can grow our industry and do good things with wood.
So what would a best negotiated deal look like, particularly for softwood lumber, that could be beneficial?
Well, I think what's really important is for us to recognize that North America is an ecosystem. We all work together to manage the forests. If we were able to harvest in such a way that it continues to be renewable, that's very important. Mm-hmm. But most importantly is that we continue to work back and forth like we do. We provide wood products to the United States. They remanufacture some of it too and send it down. Some of their wood comes up here, believe it or not, and we manufacture it and send it off to Europe and places like that. The point being is we work together as a whole. And I would suggest that those of us that are small, medium-sized, family-owned companies don't need to be even part of this in the first place. We're not tenure holders. We're too small to dump wood. We just don't have that capacity. We shouldn't be part of this problem in the first place. And across Canada, there's about 4,000 of these companies. I represent 60 of them in the Vancouver Lower Mainland area.
So to wrap up our conversation, and one more question, a two-part question for you here. With what you've seen with negotiations, how hopeful are you a deal could be reached by tomorrow? And if a deal isn't reached, how harmful could increased tariffs be on the softwood lumber industry going forward?
Well, first of all, we have the Trump tariff and we have the softwood lumber duties. We don't even know if those are cumulative right now, so we might be really hard hit. But I guess I have to say this. A negotiated settlement that's win-win is better than giving up and playing the lose-lose game. And as difficult as it is for me to say it, I'd like this to be resolved soon, but let's not cave in on it as well. So.
Brian Menzies.
I must say, I do want to thank my fellow Canadians who are doing their bit to support Canada right now. I think that's very important.
Brian Menzies is the Executive Director of the Independent Wood Producers Association. Brian, greatly appreciate your time today. Thanks so much.
Thank you again. Appreciate you listening.